We had like a series of like steel like mixing bowls. The large one we all knew was for
Fart bucket bowl.
For whenever anybody was sick and they needed something to throw up, and also if like I was really into making brownies as a child.
It will be in the garage, never to be touched or seen unless said moment arises. I would never, on pain of death, cook something in a bowl that someone had been sick in. I will burn the bowl. I will bury it in the backyard and give it a gravestone if I have to.
Somewhere if you get a cut in it or a nick or something, like there's a crevice that some germs can get stuck in.
If you've ever kept spaghetti in Tupperware, you know that Tupperware is ruined.
Right.
Because like
This is an energy drink. Every second this goes on, feeling the need to find some kind of comfort food or alcoholic beverage or some such, because I'm about to break into my husband's ice cream because this is traumatizing, but I'm doing it for y'all. So I'll just be death gripping this thing while they're talking about vomit for the next 10 hours. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dating According to, finally getting to reacting to Colleen and Erik's last podcast episode. If I look like I'm a little more blushy, it's because I was cuddling my heater despite the fact that it's like 100 degrees outside. I just get cold sometimes. So anyway, let's get to it. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Hello, welcome to Relax
Hi.
the Podcast. I'm Colleen Ballinger, hopefully not a robot this week.
robot.
Last week we sounded like robots
Oh.
because the audio got all funky.
I didn't realize it made it sound like robots though.
Well, I thought it made us sound like robots. We just sounded like technical.
Hopefully not now.
Hopefully we sound good. Hopefully we fixed the problem. I think I did. I did multiple checks, so hopefully we sound
Yeah,
beautiful.
our engineer was working really hard on it.
Yeah. So
That's you.
There they are, the little uvula twins behind her head, and they are oddly lit up. They look like when you hold the flashlight below your face when you're trying to be all creepy around a campfire. That's what they look like. So congratulations, we found them. Woo!
It's me.
Colleen Ballinger.
That's my name.
Huh?
Happy Father's Day, Lovey.
I thought you were gonna introduce me as well.
It's Carrot.
Yep.
Carrot Daddy. Carrot Daddy, Papa.
Just
Don't call you
resigned
Papa.
herself
Although maybe she
to
just call you
Carrot.
Doddy.
Doddy now. Yeah, it's Doddy. Doddy. Doddy.
Which is very fancy.
Doddy.
We
Watch
had a
this.
lovely little Father's Day this weekend, celebrating
did.
how awesome my lovely husband Carrot is.
It was a celebration of me.
It was.
I was honored.
There's nothing like telling the world that you celebrated how wonderful your husband is and then calling him a derogatory name in the very same sentence. Yay, love. True love.
He went to Paris, saw
I
Taylor
went to
Swift.
Paris and I saw Taylor Swift, and then I went to Disneyland. And then I took just a day to see Paris. It was really nice.
Something wrong with this
I didn't do
angle?
that, but
Camera
okay.
angle?
Another stuff I did do for Mother's Day. But anyway, I told him
Ate snails.
I
Saw the
told him
Eiffel Tower.
he could do whatever he wanted
Is
for
it
Father's
Eiffel or
Day.
Eiffel? I've never been. Eiffel.
Wait,
There's no T.
are you being for real?
Move on.
Eightful?
Move on. I figured it out.
He's
Just move on.
We're moving
like,
on.
"Don't make fun
No,
of me."
no one said that.
I've never been.
Well, being there doesn't mean you wouldn't know there
Normally
was
being there
Eiffel.
helps you to learn how to spell things, especially
Okay. And that's
countries.
fine. So I told
dark.
Eric that he could do whatever he wanted for Father's Day because I said a couple days before Mother's Day, hey, I think I want to go to Paris for Mother's Day. So he was like, okay, you should go. So I did. So I was like, for Father's Day, you could literally say anything and I have to say yes because
I have been wondering ever since ever if he actually was that supportive or if she just basically begged and complained until she finally was able to go to try to get some clickbait to her channel. I don't know. We may never know, but... And now she's like, well, now I have to agree to whatever you want rather than like, hey, thank you so much for letting me do whatever I wanted. Sorry, my hair is never doing what I don't know what my hair is doing ever. Anyway, sorry. Instead of her saying to him, hey, thanks so much for being so flexible and supporting what I wanted to do. What do you want to do? She's like, well, now I have to let you do what you want because you, of course, were supportive of me going to see Taylor Swift because who wouldn't support me in that? Carrot.
you let me go to Paris. So I told him that, but we both were sick and weren't feeling well.
Yeah,
So he's
so
like, I'm rain
I
check.
chose to get sick.
No, we said you're going to rain check. And now you have like a ticket for whenever you can rain check it. And you later can be like, hey,
I only have to give you 2 days notice so I can go to a foreign country.
sure.
That's like kind
Do whatever
of
you want.
the rule. And what happened it leads me to my relax.
What's your relax, Lovey? Who needs to relax this week for you?
It's not who, but it's a circumstance of being thrown up on.
Oh my.
Being thrown up on to start your day, and I don't mean you threw up and you threw up on yourself. That
I really, really hope this does not get super graphic. I can handle hearing about it. It's not the end of the world, but I mentioned in a previous video, I have something called Emetophobia, and I discovered the name of it because I was like, why do I have such a physically adverse reaction to vomiting? And it is a literal phobia where all I want to do is run. It's like the moment someone is sick near me, my body goes into fight or flight. And so my heart starts racing. I start getting clammy. I start getting freaked out. And it's like, I will do anything I can to get away from this. Where does it come from? I don't know. But I hope this is not a gory story.
Fine.
What?
Well, I mean, if you do, I mean, not fine, but like it's worse, not fine, but worse if someone throws up on
Well,
you.
of course.
Not a great feeling.
I'd be
not a great way to
nervous.
start your
No.
day. But when you have children, I guess this is something
Something that happens.
that happens as you are in denial of them saying, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And you're like, I will comfort you, child. You're not going to throw up. And then they do. So I think it's my fault because I was warned.
It's your fault that our child threw up?
Well, I mean, I was.
Yeah, I would be like in denial, just praying like, dear God, please don't let this child throw up. Selfishly, like, please care more about me than this child. I need them not to throw up for my own sake because I'm the only thing that matters right now. That would be my mindset that I'd be fighting against.
You're not.
Well, because we
And then they
knew
did.
we all got the same sickness. We all got the same little cold. It just feels like a regular kind of cold. It's just lingering a long time. We tested for COVID. It wasn't that. It's just like this weird cold thing that's going around. But it's definitely a cold. And we all got it. And one of our kids is like, I'm going to throw up. And we were like, no, this is not that kind of cold. And, you won't. But then it happened.
Yeah.
Just once. A quick
Why does it
little.
always happen on our bed?
It does always happen on our bed, doesn't it?
Ugh.
It
like,
always happens
What
on
I'm
our
talking about
bed.
is I remember the distinct feeling of it running down my arm and then onto
Ew.
the middle, like directly the middle of our bed.
Why?
Actually, I feel like
What, Eric? I don't care. I don't care. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
it's happened every time. It's been,
All of those children have thrown up on me on that bed multiple times.
yeah. I don't mean like baby throw up.
No, I don't either.
Ew.
Last time, there was a time in the last year where we all got
We don't need
like
to
the
know.
flu sick.
Uh-huh.
And the twins were taking turns at night vomiting all over me, and they wanted to cuddle because they didn't feel good. They had fevers, they felt yucky. So they
Oh
wanted
my
to cuddle.
word.
But then within the cuddling, they'd randomly sit up and puke.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
And it was one of the worst nights of my life. It was so...
I would need intense therapy. If I was in her shoes, I mean, first of all, I'd have to find a loving way to be like, look, I'm sorry, we can't be cuddling. I mean, of course, if I had a child, I would do everything I could to be with them and loving them through that, because I know kids just throw up. It's just a thing. But, like, I could not have them. Because part of the emetophobia phobia is, like, even if someone is sick for a reason that you know is not contagious, I think the subconscious phobia is, I don't want to get what they have where I will become sick. So if I have a kid cuddling me that I know has a bug and it's like, it's a guarantee you're going to get it. And my brain would just... I can't even.
He's in bed.
Yeah, always in our bed.
Now I know this is like a meme, or like I've seen this before and things like, hey, did your family have one bowl that was for throwing
the
everyone throwing
popcorn
up?
bucket.
Yeah, and like then it was also for popcorn. Like I
Ew.
have
Oh
that
my
experience. It's very
word. I'm
relatable
gonna
to me because in our
cry.
household we had like a series of like steel like mixing bowls, like no
Why?
KitchenAid, but
I
like,
don't
you know,
wanna
just like
know
kind
this.
of chrome steel looking mixing bowls, and like there was like they were always arranged in the pantry from smallest to largest. They all like fit inside of each other, and the large one we all knew was for
Fart bucket bowl.
for whenever anybody was sick and they needed something to throw up in, and also if like I was really into making brownies as a child, the bowl that I made
If I have, I mean, eventually I'm sure my husband and I will get to a stage in life where we need to have something like this. It will be in the garage, never to be touched or seen unless said moment arises. I would never, on pain of death, cook something in a bowl that someone had been sick in. I will burn the bowl. I will bury it in the backyard and give it a gravestone if I have to. No, cooking is a no for that kind of thing. Oh my word.
brownies in. So it was like the brownie bowl for me. It wasn't the popcorn bowl. What was it? Do you have
Popcorn.
popcorn?
It was a Tupperware. It was a yellow Tupperware bowl. And it was very large. And we put popcorn in it.
So plastic.
It was, Tupperware. What is that, plastic?
This is not an alcoholic beverage. This is an energy drink. But I am, every second this goes on, feeling the need to find some kind of comfort food or alcoholic beverage or some such, because I'm about to break into my husband's ice cream, because this episode is traumatizing, but I'm doing it for y'all. So I'll just be death gripping this thing while they're talking about vomit for the next 10 hours.
I think that material is.
Yeah, sure.
Plastic-ish.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that is more porous, right?
Yeah, that will definitely withhold
Like stainless,
the germ.
stainless steel,
is
I'm talking
definitely
like,
the way to go.
is fine, right?
That's the best way to go. That is the cleanliest way to go, because that's no
plastic-
Tupperware. You if it gets a cut in it or a nick or something, like there's a crevice that some germs can get stuck
Well,
in.
if you've ever kept spaghetti in Tupperware, you know that Tupperware is ruined
Right.
because like that Tupperware is now going to be like orange.
Red, yeah.
Like I
so I'm
said, that bowl it'd be in the garage, it would be at a neighbor's house. Like, you will not see me looking or touching that device ever unless someone is sick. Like, oh, my skin is crawling right now. I feel like I'm going to be the most entertaining thing in this video, not because I want to be, but because I'm dying on the inside.
Saying your forever popcorn was
Oh yeah, and
was seasoned in the.
our vomit was always buttered.
So yeah, that's a good. That's a glass like half full kind of thing. I like your positivity today. I like that.
Yeah, no. Sorry to start off the podcast with vommies. Is there poo on the bottom of your shoe?
It's tar. It's tar from the beach.
That's tar?
Yeah.
What is tar?
I don't have a thing about poop. If we want to talk about poop, let's talk about poop. Actually, at this point, please, could we please talk about poop? I would love that. Love that right now.
Why?
Let's start off this episode. Sorry, vomit and poops.
Can we get worse?
Oh, come on.
Not
Don't.
that much. When did I say poop?
I did.
About what?
I said literally 5 seconds ago said, is there poop on your shoe?
Oh, well, no, I know, but like, it's not, but it's not. It's tar.
I know, but I did say the word poop.
Well, it's tar from the beach because I walked on the beach in these shoes. We were having a conversation yesterday, and I had bought a coconut water, which is not something that I feel like there was like 10 years ago, everyone was like, oh my God, coconut water, like blah, blah, blah. It's like electrolytes, it's like closest thing to the electrolytes in your body. Like, this is the way to hydrate. And like, it was like a thing. It was like, all of a sudden there was all these coconut water drinks and they were everywhere and everyone had to have them to feel healthy. And then like, it kind of like went away.
Coconut water?
Yeah. No, it didn't go away. But like, as you open a Coca-Cola.
I know, you're making me thirsty. Talking about hydration, I need to drink a Coke.
But I was like, I feel dehydrated. Like, oh yeah, coconut water. And I saw it there. It said like organic coconut water. No, nothing else really on the, like, you know, on the label that was like noticeable, that like jumped out at me as far as their marketing goes. Are you yawning inside your body?
No, I'm just listening.
We were like mid-conversation.
She's yawning yet again, and he's like, are you kidding me? You can't go one episode without yawning straight in my face. I didn't quite catch if he said this, but I know I've heard that coconut water is more hydrating than regular water. Don't ask me why. I don't know anything about science, but yeah, maybe he'll get into this. Let's talk about coconut water. I now am coconut water's #1 fan. Let's talk about it.
You asked me a question as I like had opened this coconut water for the first time, and I took a drink of it, and then I couldn't talk, and you're like, what's wrong with you? I was like choking on it because it had extreme pulp in it.
Oh,
Ew.
yes, now I remember. I had no idea where you're going with this. I was like,
I'm going pulp with this because like,
I don't care. It's coconut water. It's
there
great.
should be a warrant. There should be a clear warrant. And then I inspect the bottle, and then it's like with pulp, like in little things, and like, and it said if you want like a big pulpy sip, like shake me. You know what I mean? As if like somebody would want that. And I thought like, oh, maybe you're a pulp person because you like boba or liked boba.
okay, first of all, how dare you?
Is boba pulp?
How dare you
No.
I think
compare
boba's pulp.
Boba? Surely he's kidding. Surely he doesn't think boba. What? That is... Okay. I'll just... I am like on my last nerve. I said in the other video that I filmed, I am a combination of exhausted and over-caffeinated. So when you combine that and then wrap it in with like severe trauma from my singular phobia that I cannot survive with, and we just wrap it all together, my nerves are like, anything will push me over the edge. So watch out.
Extreme pulp.
Boba is like it's like a snack within a drink. It's weird. It took me a while to get used to it. I gotta say, it took me a while to get used to it.
But to have like Orbeez in your drink?
I just don't like the flavor of boba. But I like the tea.
Do not eat Orbeez. That was a joke. Orbeez are not edible.
That's not what's in boba?
No, they do look similar, but yeah, no. Okay.
I don't know what Orbeez are.
Pulp is awful. I despise pulp. If there is any pulp at all in a drink, like I can't go near it.
Yeah.
Also, like mojitos, they put mint chunks in it. Get out of here.
It's going right in the gap in your front teeth.
I don't want to. No, the only
Mojitos?
drink.
Right in your front teeth.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
And you're
Okay,
always
I don't even
drinking
know if I've
mojitos.
ever had a mojito, but I definitely would never call it a mojito. It's a mojito. Mojito. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, you know me.
Colleen, mojito. Like, that's what we call you. We
thank
call
you.
you mojito.
I think I've had one mojito in my life, and that's the reason it was only one. Is because there was mint, the little mint chunks. I was like, never.
Orange juice with pulp?
Get out of here with that trash.
Yuck.
I think my dad or my mom or someone growing up liked orange juice with pulp. I
Well,
remember being in my
somebody does, 'cause
house.
It's there. Well, it's there at every grocery store, and it's like 1 for 1. So are we saying 50% of the population indulges in pulp?
Well, I think
prefers
that there
pulp?
must be someone in my family who really does love the pulp, because I remember being in college and buying orange juice for myself and being like, I can get it with no chunks. Like I didn't even know I didn't know you could get it
What?
without it at all. So I feel like someone in my family likes it.
What?
I need to get to the bottom of this.
I am
That's so
very
gross.
curious. What do y'all think? Do you prefer pulp? Do you prefer no pulp? I prefer no pulp, but I'd be curious, like, what leads people to prefer having chunks of stuff in their liquid? I don't know. Also, I'd like to say, I don't love that color yellow, but she actually kind of rocks it, which I never thought I'd say. So I guess good for you. Congratulations on something in your life, Colleen. You rock mustard yellow.
Anyway,
You ever have like an aloe vera drink?
of course not.
Yeah, those kind of. I'm just trying to think
Why
of
would
other
I
things
have
that
that?
have like pulp.
Because it's a drink.
I don't want any of these things with pulp. Let's. How do we? We're talking about so many gross things. What's next? Stickers?
We have an orange
What are
tree
you
and
talking about?
Flint
I
sometimes
love
like,
that
let's
she
make
hates
orange juice, make
stickers.
orange juice, and it's very pulpy.
He tries to strain it. I mean,
sour.
there's also probably a lot of boogers in that. I mean, this. Anyway, all right. Well, can I tell you my relax?
It was funny because I choked on the
Please.
pulp. Yeah. Do you
Let's
have
Oh
any
yeah.
comments this
Where
week?
was the end of that? Where was the end of that story? Oh, that pulp needs to relax.
Like, let's not do pulp. Or like comment if you like pulp, and then like you'll be identified as
Yes.
like a serial killer.
Okay.
No.
Can I tell you something that I think is
Please, yeah, I
relax?
think it's your turn.
Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Oh, I have so many now. I'm like kind of stressed. But I'm going to say myself.
I'm stressed
I
too.
know I've said this a million times, but
Yeah, for what?
specifically
Specifically why?
the fact that we've talked about this before. I'm sorry to bring something up that we've already talked about, but I have a good story this time that I know Eric's going to be passionate about.
As she
I
rolls
talk
her
to
eyes.
myself often, and I've recently learned or heard that this is something that's common with people with ADHD. Now I don't know if that's true because a lot of times I'll hear things like, "Well, this has to do with ADHD," and sometimes it's just like normal human things. So I don't know, but I do talk to myself out loud, like quite a lot. And I knew this about myself. Eric knew this about me.
Well, I knew it, but it's hard to believe because I'm never with you when you're alone.
Well, right?
Does
yeah.
that make sense?
Then I wouldn't be alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like so it's like when you've said to me, "Oh, I'm always talking to myself," I'm kind of like
Well, and you've seen it from afar. You've
seen
seen
it
it
from
like you've seen me through the window. I've been like
gesturing and like mouthing.
well,
but
not
like
gesturing. I'm not like performing.
No,
I'm
you
just like
do.
muttering to
Yeah.
myself like a crazy person.
Colleen
But
would never perform.
I'm always talking to myself, kind of always. And yeah, so anyway, recently, Eric sent me some security footage
I've
because
never
we
laughed
have,
so hard, yeah.
of course, lots of security and cameras all over the place with all of our children's and all our things. And like, so Eric got a notification
What?
for one of our cameras.
What? They actually protect the safety of their kids? They understand that concept? Good for them. Sorry, I'll stop being snarky.
Because I was grabbing something that I got, like a delivery that I got dropped off. And I just
say
wasn't.
what it was. So you can say Taco Bell. Like
I don't think it was. I don't remember what it was, but I don't think. I mean, not that I'm ashamed of liking Taco Bell, but
maybe it was like Jack in the Box because you're like I needed those hash browns.
I don't know what it was. But anyway,
Some fast food.
Who
Sorry.
knows?
Hash
But it was
browns
some
sound so
food.
good.
And anyway, I go out to grab it, and Eric. So I get back in, and I'm like eating my food, and Eric's on the other side of the house, and I get a text from him that's footage
Yeah,
Of me.
I clipped the video and sent it to you because I was dying laughing.
of me talking to myself as I get my food, but like very passionately.
Right.
And it was the weirdest experience seeing myself talk to myself in real time, not being aware that I was being filmed, because I'm aware that I do it, but I also, to me talking out loud feels the same as when I'm like just having thoughts in my head. Like it sounds the same, it feels the same as me talking out loud is the same as how my thoughts feel in my head. So like, to me, yeah, I remember those thoughts and those words, but like it was weird to hear them out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a couple weird things about this. So first,
I'm very curious. I'm excited to hear this story and what went on, but it's almost like the way she's talking about how strange it would be. I mean, it would be strange for anyone, but it's like, it almost feels like this is the first time she's forced in a very small way to see herself for herself and to get outside her own head and see herself the way other people see her, which is clearly a completely foreign concept. I don't think she really has any true ability to do that, but it's like, this seems so weird and confusing to her that it's like, this is the closest she's ever gotten to actually seeing herself through her husband's eyes or whomever. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
I was very upset because there was like a rogue hair on my drink cup, which was
Oh, no.
obviously foul and disgusting. So like that grossed me out. I don't remember what I said.
Wasn't your hair?
It was not mine. It was there when I could gag. But I was
Probably
upset about that. So I'm
everyone.
like muttering to myself about that. What did I say?
You said unalive myself. I don't know if you want to say that.
Wow.
You go, oh, kill myself.
Wow.
I said on camera, I said, "Oh, I will actually alive
Yeah.
myself," is what I said. But I said, "KIL."
Right.
And then
The drama
moment
queen.
of
Ever the
beauty
drama
here,
queen.
which is so embarrassing. So we have gates to get into our place, and our gates started closing, and so because I was so distracted by the hair on this cup and so upset about it, I was kind of like, took too long. So the gate started closing. So then I had to get through the
The
gate.
race to beat the gate. Yeah.
So I ran, which is another hilarious thing to see me do because I don't do that often and I'm not good at it.
If you could see yourself running, you wouldn't do it.
Well, I did see myself running. So I run, but Eric thought when he watched it that I was just going, "Whoa," like.
I didn't know. Yeah, it was like kind of inaudible until like you told me, and then I could figure it out.
So what I actually said was, I said, "Can she?" I said, "Can she do it?"
You did. You turned into like a race
What?
announcer voice. Yeah, it was like a character.
Completely alone.
To no one.
To no
For
one.
no one.
too much. Just made a voice of a person going, "Can't you do it?" As I
mean, I have.
I feel like this explains so much about her. She just narrates her own life in a very theatrical way. It really, I would actually love someone to like psychologically analyze this moment, because it's just like, I do feel like she's the ultimate epitome of main character syndrome, and it really is like she sees herself as the most important character in everything that's going on. So if she has to rush through her gates, she's like, she's going to create this whole narrative around herself while she's talking to herself, thinking no one's going to see it. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, anyone could do that and it'd be fine. But just knowing everything about her that we at least think we know, it's just the whole main character syndrome thing. She's literally acting it out. That's so interesting.
Video.
I am crying. You're not showing it. I am so embarrassed, but also it was so funny. We were laughing about this for so long. I feel like whenever you're upset with me, you should just watch that video.
It's the hardest I've laughed probably in a year.
Colleen,
please, if you're ever
anytime he's upset at you, watch that video. He'd need to watch that video like 20 times a day, I'm sure. But anyway, that's probably kind of mean. Anyway.
upset with me, just watch that video on repeat.
Yeah.
Or if I ever do something that you don't like, just send me that video to put me in my place.
It cheers me up.
Because it's...
Okay, so change that. That would be like 40 times a day. But anyway.
so stupid and embarrassing and weird. Like, who does that? Who, like, is, like...
You.
Well, I know I talk to myself, but who does, like, voices of announcers about themselves running?
You've always
like,
said you do this, but, like, I really didn't believe you.
Love, there's such a huge difference between when you just talk to yourself as you're, like, going about your day, like, you stub your, like, ow, oh, dang, I can't believe I just did that. Oh, shoot, I forgot to do this. Or, oh, gross, what's this on my cup? You know, like, that's one thing. It's another thing to make up another, like, person.
To do, like, skits?
A skit of, like, me running and be like, can she do it? Is she gonna make it? Like, and I'm pretty sure once I got through the gate before it closed, I said, she can. Like, I'm pretty sure I remember that.
That's
Like,
good.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, I just said it in the video that I just recorded. I really think that she's gone her entire life feeling less than. Whether or not it was a deserved feeling, I really think that she felt she never could measure up. So she's been trying and trying her entire life to reach a point that, it's probably something that's invisible, and had this not happened to her career, she probably would deep down inside have never felt that she was able to reach that point. But I think she was always trying to feel like she could measure up and hating the people that she felt had made it, basically. So it makes sense that in her most, like, vulnerable moments where she thinks no one's watching, she is, like, narrating her own life, making it seem more cool, trying to make herself feel like she's the cool person she wishes she was. It makes sense. It really does. Anyway.
That's an odd person.
Yeah, you're odd. And I only think you're gonna get odder, right?
But odd is the lowest on the list of words I'd use to describe Colleen. Anyway.
But I think it's you like to be entertained. You're entertaining yourself. I think that's good. I think that's you know.
I hate silence.
Whenever I see people and they're like kind of like talking, you know, bopping around by themselves and having a good time, I'm like, oh, that person's like happy. Maybe you're just really happy.
I think I
No,
do.
like
she's
silence.
not
You
happy.
I don't like silence, yeah. Maybe immature?
Yeah.
Strange?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm
Imaginative?
She admitted it. She said the word. She said she's immature. Yes, Colleen, you are very, very immature. That is a good starting point. I mean, it sounds like I'm being snarky, but I actually genuinely mean it. If she's actually willing to open up her mind to the idea of being immature, I think she could start somewhere solid. Yes. Anyway.
insane.
If you were a child and I saw a child doing that,
Our
I'd be like,
kids do that.
Childlike.
Oh my God. So that's who needs to relax for me is myself, and my talking to myself it's just getting out of hand.
I should be like, checking the cameras more often.
Yes, you should. So that was one thing, but I have more. Okay.
Okay.
I saw a TikTok. Okay.
Shocking.
I hate that every episode now is just me saying I saw a TikTok, but that
Every
is what
episode. It's every conversation.
So I saw a TikTok. And it said
not
something about,
annoyed.
because I see a lot of like ADHD things. It was about ADHD, and I don't think this is an ADHD thing, and I'm about to prove it because I think that this is a universal thing. It said like something about how all like ADHD people, something, I don't remember the wording, so I'm gonna get it wrong, but something
I like
about
the story a lot.
Shut up. Something about how ADHD when you're kids.
Okay,
you're
the whole shut up thing. I'm just going to pause real quick. There's nothing wrong with couples saying shut up when it's only ever in a teasing context, but I've probably said it about them before. I just get worried that they probably say it to each other like when they're dead serious and angry, and I'm not okay with that. But hopefully it's only used in a context like this where it's teasing. Anyway.
Like 20 minutes. I don't think you said anything. I put my microphone down to like listen harder. I took a sip of coffee. I put my microphone down and you still haven't said a word.
I'm trying.
What's happening?
Okay. I have a lot to say. That's why I have to talk to myself.
Oh, yeah, I know. Still.
So anyway, I saw this thing that said something about ADHD people when they were growing up. They'd always have to separate their Skittles eat them by color.
Okay.
And then you save the best one for last.
Which is
Red.
Oh.
You don't agree? If you say green, we're gonna have to get a divorce.
No, I was gonna say purple.
Oh, purple's great. I love purple. Purple's amazing.
But now I'm gonna say, do Skittles have different flavors?
I can't talk to you anymore. Are you being serious?
Divorce.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow of all the different colors.
But don't they
all the different
they all
flavors.
just taste the same.
No.
I don't think
What?
I don't think. Here's the thing.
I'm gonna vomit.
I don't think I separated them.
Don't-
First of all, I
don't
didn't eat
you
Skittles
dare.
a lot. I don't think I separated
This
them.
can't be an ADHD thing.
Starburst, best flavor.
Pink, red.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Pink, of course, but
Pink,
I like
yeah.
red too. Sometimes
Yeah.
red's a little too cough
Ah.
medicine-y.
Those taste different.
Agreed.
Very. So do Skittles.
Skittles is like it's like a linear.
You are.
If it was like a sound wave, it would be flat.
No, M&Ms are all the same. They're all just
See-
chocolate. But when I
What's happening in front of us right now, I can imagine they would get into a genuine argument over the differing flavors of Skittles and whether or not Eric is aware of the differing flavors per color. They probably literally fight over small things like that. Oh boy.
when I was a kid, I did separate those by color.
Oh yeah, so that's
And
diagnosable
then
for sure.
also Lucky Charms, I ate all the grams first, like all the gross parts, and I saved it so that at the end, the final bites were all just marshmallows.
Whoa.
Is this not universal?
Whoa.
I thought everybody did this with their Skittles and their Lucky Charms.
Wait, with Lucky Charms, you would.
I mean, I didn't really eat that kind of stuff a lot, but I am similar in that way. If there's something that I vastly prefer the flavor of over something else in a combination of things I'm eating, generally speaking, I will either save a portion or most of the thing that I really like to the end. Not always, but usually I try to like end on my favorite flavor, so I get that. If that's not normal, whatever. But yeah, I can understand where she's coming from.
Avoid the marshmallows to the end to only have marshmallows.
Love. I still do
Whoa.
this. I still do. If you give me a bowl of Lucky Charms right now, I would do this.
Still eats Lucky Charms.
Of course I am, because I'm smart. But love,
a child.
for real, you're blowing my mind, because I saw that and I thought it was one of those things where it was like, this is another one of those things where it's like, if you walk in a room and forget something, you have ADHD. Because like that can be a symptom of it if you do it 100 times a day. Sure.
That's me every
But
day.
A lot of people forget things. A lot of people have, do all the symptoms, quote unquote, of ADHD. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but like most people do some of the things that are diagnosable as ADHD. It's just ADHD people do it a lot more frequently, and it could become very like life altering, like because it happens so
Yeah, I
often.
don't
All
know.
lots of things. But this is one that I was like, this cannot be true. Like, there's no way not everybody eats the Skittles in order of best color ranking.
No way, not a chance. I didn't even. I'm
What?
telling you, I didn't even know that they tasted different because it would just be like a handful or whatever. But I also didn't like Skittles. So anytime I ate Skittles, I feel like would be like a Halloween where you were like a little bag of Skittles,
When I was young, I would eat a whole bunch I think it was Skittles. I'd probably do it with Starburst too. Before I had any idea how obnoxious retainers were, and I would pretend that I had a retainer. I'd let them melt and then form it to the top of my mouth, and I imagined that retainers were just as fun and delicious as Skittles, and they're not. They're not. I can confirm they're not. They suck, and I hate them so much.
fun sized bag of Skittles was like thrust upon you.
You're blowing my mind.
I never bought Skittles in my life.
And you didn't take the M&Ms out of the bag and sort them by color and then line them up?
No,
No, I don't do
I
that.
never did that. No.
So
No.
odd. And the
Swedish
Lucky
fish.
Charms, I never ate Swedish fish. And they're
Colleen
all
is
red, aren't
very
they?
complex.
My best friend growing up, his mom, I think, loved Swedish fish, so there would just be boxes of them. I can't eat them to this day.
Oh. But you don't separate them, they're all the same color.
Yeah, no,
Is there
not a
another
good
food that people do this with? There's gotta be.
Sure.
Well, we have talked about like when you're eating food, like when you're eating dinner, you make sure that the final bite is a very good bite. Like
Well, when you're eating like a sandwich.
a
or like
sandwich, but
burger.
even just like if you're like having like, let's say steak, potatoes and vegetables, like you want to make sure like that final bite is a very good final bite. It can't be like just scraps of the plate.
No, I'll lose that battle every time.
You like the scraps of the plate?
No, I'm just saying like when I'm eating like if it's a great burger, right, which I don't have often, but it's like a guilty pleasure. If I'm having like a great burger, I'll like try and save the last bite to be like this perfect bite. But then if there's like fries or something else or like chips, like I'll always be like, I ended on that perfect bite of that burger, like stop now, but then I'll just have to eat like one more cold fry and ruin it all.
Cold fry.
That's like the rest of my
I guess
day.
I've done that, yeah.
Yeah.
Eric is a sucker for
I think with all-
punishment. He just likes to torture himself without any explanation.
All my food is like the.
Is this a
it's like the
conversation?
quarter-
Is this even a conversation?
No, maybe it's not.
Let alone a podcast? Is
No,
this
it's
even
not. What is this?
I don't know.
A mess. Let's just show footage of our.
We need that to just be like the caption of relax in general. What is this, a podcast? No, it's a mess. There we go. That can be their slogan. Relax, the podcast. Is this a podcast? No, it's a mess. There we go.
Our security cameras. It's probably more
Should we
entertaining
just
than
cut
this.
to our security cameras for the rest of the episode?
Oh, no, but I have more relaxes.
Like I just randomly said Swedish fish for no
Yeah,
reason.
you did do that.
Hard thing to say.
Swedish fish.
Yes, a lot of
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay. We're maybe failing this episode with talking about Swedish fish and I don't even know what else we've talked about. Me talking to myself. So let's let them talk for us. We're gonna read your comments, guys. You guys left us some great comments. Leave us some more on this
Can't
week's
wait.
episode. We love reading your comments, and you guys are more entertaining than us. So first, just
Do you think the comments are real? I'm sure some of them are. Do we think all the positive comments are real? I don't know.
thing that I'm going to read. Brielle said, "This has got me down the rabbit hole of looking up dolphins, whales, extinction, and now I'm down another rabbit hole with marine biology." So these are all things we talked about last week. Colleen, our minds are too alike, and I can't wrap my head around any of this either. So crazy. The ocean is such a mysterious and scary yet fascinating place. And I agree. And I just love that your brain is like mine. And I just wanted to bring that up because maybe she talks to herself too. And I
Oh my word. I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of someone, then it would feel like an ultimate compliment to feel like their brains and yours meld. But I would be mortified if I realized that I was very similar to Colleen. But she just, she needs so much professional help. I feel like that she probably is never going to get. Anyway.
I feel seen. Maybe she separates her Skittles. I just want to feel seen and understood. So thank you, Brielle.
I love it that you feel seen and understood. And unless you have someone to relate to.
Of course.
Can I read this text message from my dad?
Wait,
Sure.
so does that mean that she probably claims that she never feels seen or understood in the marriage? And I'm sure Erik is probably underhandedly saying, you don't feel seen and heard? Well, guess what? I don't feel seen and heard. You poor couple. I kind of wish I could hug both of them, but I also kind of want to strangle both of them. So whatever. Anyway.
Because after last week's episode, our number one fan texted me, I just sent you the seminal work on dolphins and their intelligence. John Lilly, MD, the study that started the ethnology.
Don't try. It's fine.
Ethnology and physiological interest in marine mammals back in the 60s. One of my favorite biophysiology studies. And that book was delivered to our house 2 days ago.
I haven't read it
Wow.
yet.
A book from the 60s, a study of dolphins.
I know, he's so sweet.
So
That will
Colin's
never
going to
get
read
read.
that for next week. That 600-page study on dolphins.
There was a comment-
and she'll fill you in with some facts.
There was a comment that I don't remember it word for word, but it was something like, this is why people who know things should speak up and the people who don't are too loud, or something, like talking about how like I need to shut up. And then it was like, you should have just called Erik's dad. Like, don't let Colleen's talk. Just talk
Right,
to Erik's dad,
yeah.
like, you idiot. Okay. This is a very good
His
question.
dad is
Tabby
very smart.
said, I have a question for you. Do either of you sleep in socks? I do all the time. I cannot go to sleep unless I'm too hot in the summer, or even walk around the house with bare feet. I cannot. I need socks at all times. Also, they have to be fluffy socks.
What's her name?
This is Tabby.
What's her name? Tabby?
Okay, my personal opinion, I pretty much never wear socks. I do love the feeling of fluffy socks when it's cold, but I don't usually tend to do it. Sleeping in socks for me is like nails on a chalkboard. Sleeping in socks, sleeping in most pajama pants, like it just feels very constricting, and like the fabric is going opposite to where my blanket, it's just, I can't do it. But anyway, not that anyone was asking, I'm just telling you needless information. Tell me about your sock preferences. Okay.
Never sleep in socks.
Yeah.
Never have, never will. Don't like walk around the house in socks either, because then they just...
You like walking around the house in
I
shoes.
don't like it barefoot.
You are
always
chaotic.
You are always in socks.
Always in socks,
Sleep in
except for
socks?
sleeping. I absolutely cannot sleep if I'm wearing socks. Cannot sleep if I'm
What
wearing
is a
socks.
fluffy socks like the kind they sell at airports?
I don't know what they sell in airports, but there's like fluffy ones, like soft, cozy, like they look almost
Don't know
like
what
a
they
stuffed
You've
animal.
never been into a Hudson?
I don't know that I've seen fluffy socks in them.
Isn't that Hudson News? You
Oh
never been
yeah,
in a Hudson
of course.
News?
I've spent
There's
so much.
right
Half of my
there.
life has been in a Hudson News.
Half of my life's been in a Hudson News. Right in the center, there's the whole thing. It goes in neck pillows. They say neck pillows.
You said pillows.
Neck pillows. And then the whole bottom half of the twisty rack
Oh.
is like these very fluffy socks.
So that's something that I heard or saw somewhere, that supposedly the part of the pillow that we always put in the back to lean backwards, I think I heard that you're actually supposed to wear that around the front. Is that accurate? Does anyone do that? It's just funny. Anyway.
Fluffier than any human would need. And I was like, oh, I guess people on airplanes theoretically are going to change out of their shoes, take off the socks they wore to the airport, put on these $16.99 one pair of socks that they bought at a Hudson News. That's the thing. They're fully stocked.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever bought socks in an airport. Maybe I have, but I do know that, I was going to say that's the only place that I wear socks to sleep is if I have an overnight flight on a plane.
Well,
Because
yeah,
I'm
you're
obviously not going to be
barefoot on a
barefoot on a
plane.
plane. It's chaotic.
That's disgusting. I will say, the one time I flew on Korean Air, they know how to do it right. They give you, like, I forget everything, but like at the very start of the flight, they give you like this little goodie package, if you will. And it had like a toothbrush, toothpaste, blanket, slippers, maybe a brush. I can't remember what all. But like I swear, half the plane, the moment it was like you could take your seatbelt off, whatever you call that time, half the plane, if not more, everybody had already gotten their slippers on. Like it was like shoes off, slippers on, done. I mean, that's also, I think, an Asian cultural thing, but it was just such an interesting, I've never been given slippers on a plane except for on Korean Air. Korean Air is an excellent airline, I will say. I think I've heard and seen that getting hired as a flight attendant on that airline is like a grueling and frankly unfair process where they only find the brightest and most attractive people. But as a passenger, since I had no say in that process, I very much enjoyed my time on Korean Air. So just putting that out there.
I wear socks on planes, but I wear socks 24. I pretty much could wear them in the shower probably as well. Like I don't like the feeling of a crumb on my bare foot. That is disgusting to me.
Can I ask you a question? Personal question?
Of course.
What is your Hudson News go-to? What is your, like, people are always asking, what's your go-to, like, McDonald's order?
Yeah.
What's your go-to
What's your
dish?
plain
Like,
snack?
well, yeah, like, what's your Hudson News?
Shocked you don't know this.
Well,
Hudson News,
I just wanna
every
hear-
time I get to an airport, which isn't frequently anymore, but it used to be
All the time, yeah.
double times a month.
She loves to rub it in, the fact that her life is nowhere near as happy as it used to be, thanks to people like Adam McIntyre just ruining her life. Poor Colleen. Poor Colleen.
Multiple times a month. I always get peanut M&Ms, and the last couple years, ranch corn nuts.
Whoa.
Wild.
Your face lit up.
Wild.
That is it. Honestly, I've known you for a long time.
Huh.
We're married, we have children. I've never seen that specific smile that you had on
Because
your
it's
face
so weird.
when saying
So
ranch corn nuts.
random.
It's like a new
Because
facial expression.
Have I ever purchased ranch corn nuts at our home? Like, have they ever been at our home? No, I only get them at airports. Only in the last couple of years.
Do you know, I have a weird thing that I only
never
get at
again.
airports.
I wouldn't know what it is, but let me finish.
sorry,
no,
yeah, yeah.
I want to know. I almost want to guess. But I also get a water. That's very important.
Water.
And it has to be a Dasani because you're in a Hudson
Are
News.
you what?
That's the only water they
Poison
sell.
water?
Have you?
Okay, so another random story. I don't remember what the context was or what country these people were from, but an American was telling a story about people they interacted with from some other country that did not speak English as its first language, I don't think. And they said, what is the difference between water and water? Because when they were taught English, they were taught to say water, but none of us say it that way. We all say water, which is just interesting. I never thought about that until that story.
But in it,
They absolutely sell smart water.
oh, it's Smart or Dasani.
Although I feel like
I feel like it's only just like not.
No, you're wrong.
And not even cold. They only have warm
Yeah,
Dasani.
it's disgusting, but you're also wrong. I know that there's some with Fiji too. Some with Fiji,
so
some
many,
with smart water.
so many people have bought it that it's like it's the.
I
cold.
never. If they have any other option, I won't get Dasani. I don't like Dasani, so I'll get.
Who does?
But wait, what was it? I forgot. I lost
It's
it.
Smart and then Fiji. You get water.
Water. Oh no,
Corn
it's gone
nuts.
now.
Let's
I don't
move
know. I was
on.
gonna say something, but now it's gone.
Oh no, I interrupted you
That's
twice.
okay.
I blew
That's
it.
fine.
No, you didn't blow anything. My brain let it go. It's gone.
Good.
What do you get from Hudson?
What's the one weird thing I gotta guess?
I'm gonna guess.
I've never bought it anywhere else in my life.
Have I seen you buy this?
Uh huh.
What?
I buy it every time, but
I don't know. I feel like you're like a person who
5
buys
out of 10.
like trail mix or something.
out of 10?
Yeah, I get a trail mix. Yeah.
Ugh.
Those, yeah, it's
Get a
terrible.
life.
What else am I gonna get?
50% of the time.
Nature Valley Bar.
The crumbs?
Buy the little sock of crumbs.
Oh man. Okay.
Why do I call it a sock? I don't
know.
A little packet of crumbs. A Dasani. So that's the only option.
It's not, but okay.
Um,
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say.
oh, good.
Didn't it make
Now
up a
we're
law
even.
that you can't buy bottled waters at water bottles? Whoa.
I think
at
LAX.
airports anywhere?
I think just LAX.
Wasn't I just at LAX? I don't think I remember buying a bottle of water. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, there's something about like, they're like outlawing bottles of water. I think it was LAX, where so you have to like bring your own.
I don't know when that starts because I feel like I just bought one.
bring
Sorry.
your refillable.
Okay, what's the weird thing you get?
Cinnamon gum.
Ooh, nice.
Because of like ear popping things and gum, and like I'm not,
I did know
not
that.
a big
No.
gum chewer.
Well, okay.
So I'm just like,
actually, this was just wow. I just had a light bulb moment. So when I say ew, let me clarify for anyone who's going to get offended. I love cinnamon. I put cinnamon on like anything and everything I possibly can. Cinnamon breath things, for some reason, I think they're just too spicy for me, even though I do kind of like spicy food. I've never really enjoyed cinnamon breath anything. I think I don't know if being a super taster is a real thing. You can Google it. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't even know if it's real, but if super tasters are a real thing, I think I am one, and I feel like the spices from those kinds of breath things are more painful for me than other people potentially, so I think that's why I don't like them, but I do love cinnamon, so just putting that out there. Can't wait for fall.
crazy. And buy
love
like
cinnamon gum.
It's
a good choice.
But I never bought it anywhere else. And then on a plane, I'll sometimes ask for ginger ale, but I'll never order or buy. There's never ginger ale in our house, but on an airplane, I'm like, I'll take a ginger
Give
ale.
it to your
I used
kids
to
when they're
love
sick.
getting the airplane coffee, which is disgusting.
Yuck.
But I always
Why?
would get it because I think just because I was traveling so much at the
Don't even
beginning of my
drink
career.
coffee.
I know, but at the beginning of my career, I started drinking coffee because of tour, because I was traveling so much overseas and I was so tired and jet lagged. I hated coffee, but I needed to stay awake. So
It will never not blow my mind, regardless of how innocent she thinks she is, how often she brings up her past life. I would just be like, okay, even if I was in her shoes and I was like, I was treated unfairly, I was lied about, I would not bring it up. It's like this weird mental disconnect of like, I'm going to both jointly basically hate the fact that I don't have this anymore, but also kind of pretend that all the bad stuff didn't happen and just talk about my life like it almost didn't just completely get, I don't know. It's very bizarre. I can't put my finger on it.
I started drinking coffee on airplanes, and I think I got like this nostalgic, like happiness feeling. So there's like sometimes when I fly now, I'll just get a coffee just because like the flavor of it is not good, but it just makes me happy because it makes me think about like all the cool places I've traveled, and like there's like I don't know, like so many memories connected to the disgusting flavor of toilet airplane coffee.
Memories of the career that she will never have again, that she desperately wishes she could have again, that she's so upset she doesn't have. That's probably why she likes the airplane coffee.
You know where I like coffee?
Diners.
Sure. I mean, are there diners? There are not any diners that I know
I
of
love
anymore.
diner coffee.
I was going to say IKEA.
What? They have coffee at IKEA?
Yeah. It's delicious
I believe that.
because it's Swedish coffee.
Well, anything else you get, Hudson? Can I move on to the next comment, or is there more
Well, I
crazy
can talk
things?
more about what I'd eat at IKEA. Did you ever eat at IKEA?
No.
You've never eaten at IKEA?
No, but I know everyone's
I
like,
have
oh,
to
the
take
Swedish meatballs.
Like the lingonberry sauce?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
heard.
Come on.
Eating in a
You've
hot-
never done it?
I've been there so many times. I've had the opportunity to so many times. I'm not interested. To eat in
I don't understand. What do you mean?
IKEA is crowded and hot and a maze, and it just feels like a windowless,
It is a
stuffy,
maze.
thick air. Just, I don't like it in there. And then there's the thought of eating at like cafeteria style tables in a stuffy, hot place
when it
where
was
you're
like
just
a
tired and
new
wanna go.
thing, when it was like a new thing, I like loved it. I was like, oh, it's Sunday, we're going. I used to love it when it was like a new thing.
In like Connecticut?
Yeah.
See, I've only experienced it in LA.
Well, in LA too.
What?
The one in
Ugh.
the one in Burbank.
Yeah.
I will say the few times that I've been in an IKEA, I do find it mentally stressful to have to follow arrows to get out, even though I really should have arrows everywhere in my life because I'm terrible with directions. But just that, looking for the arrows and trying to go the right ways, I did find stressful. But I feel like the food areas and the front areas of IKEA tend to be maybe a little less confusing and congested. But anyway, whatever. Unrelated. Well, sort of related. But.
Awful.
Well, I'm not saying no. I would always honestly. I think some of my first panic attacks were in IKEA.
Yeah, they're just terrible.
Because I would all of a sudden get really like hot and like feel claustrophobic, and I didn't really know what like a panic
never
or
felt
anxiety
hot that I
attack
remember.
was. Like, and I can remember specifically having some of them in IKEA because like feeling overwhelmed and hot and whatever.
Well, and the maze of it,
but then you
too.
finally make it to the cafeteria, and you're like, thank goodness, I'm gonna have an amazing meal on a tray that I can then I stack the tray on top of a garbage can.
Gross.
Amazing.
Don't like it.
Come on.
I think I had their ice cream or something there once because, like, I don't know.
I think they have soft serve ice cream. Like at the
I know
end,
everyone
that
says
you
like
get
their
that's really
Swedish
good.
meatballs are really good or something, and
Yeah.
like I would try it if I could eat it anywhere else. But just the idea of eating it in a crowded, loud, hot, echoey
But such a
cafeteria
throwback to like
space.
cafeteria. That's like nostalgia because like you kind of like you get the tray and you wait in a line and you walk past the things and you're like, oh, some of that. Like
Not nostalgic for me. I never ate in a cafeteria.
Oh, yeah, because she was homeschooled.
I've never eaten in a cafeteria.
I know you like have this story about like, oh, I was a nerd, so I would eat behind a bush, like during lunchtime. But like, what do you mean you
That
never
has
ate? You
nothing to
never
do.
ate? You never
That
had
has
hot
nothing
lunch in
to
the
do-
cafeteria?
No, it has nothing to
You
do with.
never.
No.
Not one time.
No.
Not even on like French bread pizza day, nugget day. Come on.
No, I don't. No, our French bread pizza was in a cart outside.
What's going on with California
Oh,
schools?
so she
That's
just
what I'm
goes
saying. It
Cart
has nothing to do with
outside.
me being weird and eating behind a bush. It has to do with the fact that, like, first of all, I usually just brought food from home.
Your
or
lunch
like,
people were just spread about.
No, there was a
cart?
cafeteria, but barely anyone went in that thing.
She
like, no one went.
really didn't like that he said that. That really, I think she feels comfortable calling herself weird, but I think she's mortified of anyone, let alone her husband, calling her weird. She probably lives life being like, I can define myself by whatever words I want, but you can't define me by any of those words. How dare you? So I think she got honestly really uncomfortable with that bush eating comment words.
In a cafeteria.
What in the world?
And so, yeah, we had a cafeteria, but no one ate in there. Everyone eats outside. And there was carts outside. So there's a burrito cart, a pizza cart,
You're
a cookie
blowing
cart,
my mind
a
right now.
Blender's like smoothie cart
How would you pay for it?
with money, with American dollars. What do you mean? How do you pay for it? With
I don't
Monopoly
know.
money?
No, I guess
I
we did have a
wish.
cashier's. I feel like I remember giving tickets.
I don't
Tickets
know.
are like wooden tokens, but maybe that was like elementary school, and then in high school there was like registers. Yeah, maybe there was. But like I grew up on the East Coast where like schools were indoors, and like and that was such a weird thing to me. I mean, I was a big skateboarder as a kid, and so and like lots of the skate videos that I would watch was like these guys would go to skate at like schools, and there would be like these breezeways and everything, outdoor cafeterias, and I was like, what is California? It's like part of the allure to California to me as a kid was like watching skate videos and seeing like palm trees and like outdoor schools. But then like to get here, it's really bizarre to me.
Yeah,
the way I grew up.
I've never eaten a single lunch inside the cafeteria.
Yeah, I guess you never had snow days either.
No, and rainy days I just go in the theater or in the choir room to eat lunch, or I'd go home. I just drive home. But anyway,
Yeah, we weren't allowed to leave during lunch.
I left all the time once I got my car.
That's another thing. I think we've talked about this, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next comment.
I'm sure regardless of whether or not she was allowed to leave, she did. And she's like, I'm so done with this. Let's move right along.
Sorry, we got a little distracted there. Okay, this one is a little mind-blowing, and I think maybe end on this here because this is a lot. Victoria said, okay, Colleen, I know you're going to like this one. Something I learned the other day that blew my mind is that every year, 18,000 new species of bugs are discovered.
Wow.
80,000?
18,000 every year.
Yeah, we're not worried about the bug. You're not
then-
you're not worried about the bug population.
Get
going
ready
extinct.
for the plot twist.
Okay.
No, going extinct. It says that they're discovered. 18,000.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
discovered.
I'm implying that you hate bugs.
I do.
Don't like bugs. So you're not worried about their extinction level.
Plot twist, because another comment right below that one was, Colleen, if the facts about the frogs disappearing fascinates you, because last week we were talking about the frogs disappearing and starting to go extinct. If that fascinates you, you should Google about the insects disappearing, specifically because of cars hitting them on the road. I went on a road trip, and released how many insects were on the front of the car after, and I figured it had to be a problem and Googled it and found out it totally is. So then I was like, wait, one person's saying we're discovering 18,000 species a year, and another person's saying they're going extinct.
I left all the comments are people very similar to you. Like, who thinks like, oh, I gotta Google that. Like, look at all these dead bugs in front of my car.
I love it.
I need to like dive into this. Like, yeah.
So then I first searched, how many new species of bugs do we find every year? And the first thing that popped up, it says there's more than 1 million different species of insects known around the world, but about 7,000 new species are found each year. But then the next article says 18,000 new species. So I don't know which one's right. One says 7,000, one says 18,000. But that's a lot of bugs, new species being found every year.
Not a lot of consensus, but a lot of bugs.
But this other person, Dja Ray, said that they're going extinct. How are they going extinct if we're finding all these thousands of bugs? So then I was like, well, how many species of bugs are disappearing every year? Google that. And in 2020, a meta-analysis found that globally, terrestrial insects appear to be declining in abundance at a rate of about 9% per decade. But the abundance of freshwater insects appears to be increasing by 11% per decade. IGG.
So we'll never run out of bugs. You know, if you want to study bugs, specifically spiders, and different species of spiders, just come to our house.
Come to our house.
There
So
are-
many of them.
I think maybe it's the time of year, but anything like look around this house and be like, I want to lift that up.
There's like 4 today.
and a
crawling
spider
in front
will
of
run
you.
out.
It's horrible.
Will run out from it.
We get the house. We always are getting it getting rid of those spiders, doing all the things to like make it so there's not spiders that can bite our children.
No, we're not inviting them.
But they just keep coming back, especially summertime, and their webs are wild in the backyard. Like you walk on the back, you're walking into them constantly. It's a horrible feeling.
That feeling is never pleasant. Nobody's
awful.
Nobody's gonna argue like in a comment. Like I actually like walking through spider webs. Can you imagine?
Very true.
Someone's like, I love the feeling of walking through a spider web unexpectedly.
That is
They need therapy.
horrendous.
Those ones that like love that fig tree. You can see them now as babies. There's like they get real big.
I don't like. That's one of the worst feelings in the world. Walking through a spider web. You know, some of the worst feelings in the world. That's one of the tops for me. Another one. Stepping in like a tiny bit of water in a sock.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's another one
So
of
all
my
those
worst.
ice cubes you drop on the kitchen floor, you should pick up and put in the sink.
Now I want to step on them later. Get upset about it.
Oop.
Another worst feeling in the world.
He's
a tiny
annoyed.
seed from a fruit stuck.
That was a little. I mean, obviously we all do these little things, but clearly that's been an ongoing issue that he has not appreciated. And honestly, I do the same thing. I leave the little ice cubes on the floor, but I haven't. Husband's not said anything about it yet, so.
Back on one of your molars.
Never good.
One of the worst feelings I think maybe in the world.
Did she say grinding?
You don't have anything to add to these? I'm listening to great things
My
about
mind
normal
works
feelings.
differently. I'm thinking about like molars. Like why call them the, like it's a better name for that tooth maybe.
Maybe we should go.
Yes,
We're
yes,
tired.
I agree.
I mean, one of your big guys. I don't know. Like who's like Dr. Dentist. So it was like named dentistry after me, and also these things are called molars. Sorry, called it. Like they were like dibs. I'm calling them molars.
I mean, well, if you're gonna say that, you gotta say it about everything. Like why
Canine, cool name. Canine teeth, right?
molars? It's not that bad. There's worse.
I don't know
words.
any other names of teeth.
Yeah,
Front.
F972. There's some
sure.
numbers
Like
and letters.
Like dentist. Yeah.
But okay, so you could say that about anything though. Like why is skin called skin? Like why is anything called anything?
No, but we weren't talking about skin, were we?
You're talking, but why molars? Why is that where it's not like
you
it's like
said
an
it.
unpleasing?
I'm just saying where my brain went as opposed to like where your brain went.
Uh-huh.
Two different brains.
All right, we gotta go.
One podcast.
So is it?
Is it? Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness. All right, I have nothing else to add. My brain is rather fried, but thanks for joining. I'll see you later.